I'd like to welcome you to this Office 15-minute webinar previewing the next Office Excel 2013. My name is Doug Thomas. I'm here with Bruce and Gary and Chris. We are all writers at Office.com. That's the help and how-to site for Office products. You can simply go there by going to Office.com, or when you're in your product, if you press F1, that connects to Office help and how-to. In fact, F1 on any Microsoft product will get you to help and how-to content. So we work on the articles, the trainings, the videos, the how-to videos that you see on that site. And today we're going to continue our look at the Office preview that's going on right now. This is a free preview of the next version of Office. And when you go to the page, which is office.com/preview, you'll see that there's a couple different ways to download it, depending if you're a small business, what we call an enterprise business, which is a large business, or most people want to get the home premium, the home consumer, which is a subscription. Now, this is a little different for Office. We've had Office 365 for businesses. We're opening up that for the home consumer. Subscription gets you a lot of benefits, including using up to 5 different devices. You can get a copy of Office downloaded to any computer temporarily if you need to do it. It keeps track of what you've been doing on all the different computers, so a lot of benefits. And we'll probably talk about a little bit of that more next week also. Also, if you're just a disk person, you want the disk, when Office 2013 comes out, which we have not announced when that's going to be yet, it will also be available on disk if you want to buy the disk. We'll certainly be able to do that. The Office preview and the new version of Office will only work on Windows 7 and Windows 8 computers. So if you have an earlier version of Windows or an earlier version of Office, we support products for 10 years. So if you have Office 2007 or 2010, that you can certainly, you'll find templates, you'll find help and how-to content. Also, you can run both versions at the same time. My computer here right now, I'm running Office 2010 and the new version of the preview. So you can run them together at the same time. Also, this is a preview. So there might be a dark corridor you're led down occasionally. We're still working on the product, and you can help us finish the product. In fact, I'm going to switch over my deck here to the desktop and show you. So what you should be seeing here is the Excel 2013. Now, in the upper right-hand corner here, there's a little smiley face. You can press on that, and you can send a smile or send a frown. So if you like something, we want to know about it. If you don't like something, something doesn't work, or you just want, why isn't this changing? This is the best way to send the information to the folks that are building this product. Don't send it to me, because I'm not building the product. I'm doing the webinar. But this information they look at, so little subtle changes, or I don't know how much they can change, but again, they put the batter together, they're still cooking. So this is the way to get a hold of them, and if there's something you like or don't like, send a smile, send a frown. That's part of the preview. Okay, let's kind of show some of the new features that we have in Excel 2013. The first one I'm going to show you is called Flash Fill, and here's a typical Excel some marketing information. And if you notice that second column, the B column, that has a lot of information kind of grouped together. So it has groupings of different folks in this company, and also has names. Now, the names are important to me. So if I write John, the first name in that cell, and then the next one is Jenny, is you notice Excel has used this flash fill feature, which says, oh, you're looking for this bit of information. I'm going to take that bit of information on all the columns and put it out here and fill it in. So it takes all the names out and just fills it in automatically. Same thing here with, let me go to the next column over, and I'll type in advertising. Ooh, I spelled it correctly. Yay. No, I didn't. Thank you. Gosh, me and my big mouth. Okay, there's advertising. There, and the next one here is events, and then again it fills in all that. Oops, I messed up. There we go. It fills in all the information. It takes out that code. So I can do that same thing for the code numbers there and all that. That's flash fill, and it's a great way to grab that information and bring it out into a new column. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab this table here, and there's a new little icon here down at the bottom. I'm just going to let the mouse point there. That's called Quick Analysis. That's a new tool. So as you click on Quick Analysis, it brings up this window. And here brings you several of the most popular things that people do with their Excel work. Kind of brings it from the ribbon. Whoops, sorry about that. And you can mouse over and it will format that issue. Let me just grab here the data here real quick. So I can see what data bars would look like. I can see what a color scale would look like. Okay, I'll slow down a little bit. There's the icons. So I can preview that information. Now we've had that live preview with previous versions of Office, but this kind of just makes it a little more dynamic that I'm just looking at several different things at once. I can also look at charts, which is kind of cool. Okay, hang on here. I lost my table. So flash fill, charts, and I can see what different charts will look like. If I want to look at dollars, if I want to look at, now not all these will be the exact table I want to use, but I can preview them in advance with flash fill. Grab this one more time. I can also look at totals. So if I want to get the sum total, see it goes to the bottom line there. Or if I want to look at the average. And again, some of the columns don't have totals, so that doesn't go in. But again, it can preview those things in advance. Or if you want the sum on the side, I guess I need to widen this column here a little bit. If I want to put the totals on the sides, it can do that too. So that's flash fill. Now, one other thing that flash fill does, it's pretty awesome. If I go into tables, of course I can see what a table would look like. But the big one is pivot tables. So pivot tables are one of the things that a lot of people do in Excel. If you're like me, you use pivot tables from time to time, but most of the time it's been several months since I used them and I always forget how to use them. With this flash fill, it takes a look at the data and it kind of shows me what certain pivot tables will look like. If I want to look at the department, or if I want to look at the salesperson, it can add those up. So let's look at events, and I'll click on it, and it will make the pivot table for me. I didn't have to do anything else. This also can be done in a different way called recommended pivot tables. I'll show a little later. And then this is a live pivot table, so if I wanted to put the information about the salesperson, I can. And I can move around my filters and all that. So it builds the pivot table for you. And again, it's one of those features I know I'll use just because, again, I forget a lot of the things of Excel. Let me do this. Let me open up a new Excel page and kind of show you. Now this is a little scrunched because my screen is a little probably smaller than your screen would be. But when you start Excel or Word or PowerPoint in the new version of Office, you don't get just a blank page. Now, if you want a blank page, you go right here to blank notebook and it will start it off. But on the left-hand side gives you your most recent documents, which most of the time is one thing you want to go after probably. You're working on a project. Or you can scroll down on the right-hand side and you can look at some templates. And we have lots of different templates here that you can use from. You can also search as a search box at the top here if you're searching for templates. If you click on one of these, you can kind of see it a little bigger. And you can kind of scroll through. Is it a money tracker I'm looking for? Or here's a marketing budget, school athletic budget. And then you could, oh, here's a movie list. That would come in handy for my former job. So you can look at this and then create that template immediately and then start personalizing it for the way you need to use it. Now, if you want to go with a good old blank document, it's right here at the top, blank workbook. There's also this one here called Take a Tour. I'm going to click on that because we've kind of built in help and how to into the templates area. And so here's a quick way to go through, and I wanted to show this because a lot of times one of the most popular questions I get here is, can you show that demo again? So I'm going to do that here and show you how you can use it with the Office Preview. So right here it shows flash fill. So here's a list of emails. I type in the first name, and I type in the second name, and then flash fill kind of sees that all the emails have that first name period format, so it pulls out those first names. I'm going to pull out next, and it's going to talk to me here about quick analysis. So I'm going to grab the table, hit the quick analysis, and then I can preview here. Here's this color schemes, icon sets. I'll let that sit there for a second so it'll render. Go back to color scales. And again, you can preview your information very quickly to see if that's what you want to do. I can also do charts again here. So there's a chart by the beverage. Here's one by the industry. Here's one I would never use because it looks really confusing. So you can, again, preview this stuff and even do the pivot tables that we talked about before. Okay. And let's go to the next one. And then you hit the next page, and we'll also show you here. Here's another recommendation. So we have recommended pivot tables, and we also have what's called recommended charts. So what I'm going to do is select the table, and then go up to the Insert tab. And here's recommended pivot tables. I'm going to go over here to recommended charts right there near the middle of the ribbon, and click on that. And again, it gives me several different chart varieties for what I want to do. I'm going to misname these. That's a bar chart, I want to say. This is a scatter something, right, Gary? What's that called?
Yep.
Scatter. Oh, it says right at the top. Look, I don't need to know. It labels it. This is a cluster bar. Cluster bars are delicious. This is a scatter. This is a stacked bar. So you can look through and have a variety of different charts that they say, we looked at the data and we think this might be the best. So maybe I want to use a stack column. I would just hit OK and it would make it. Or if I want to get in more information, there's a tab in this window that says All Charts, and you can start working on all the things right there. So that's just a quick little demo of the demo inside of the built into the product itself. In fact, let me do this one more time here. I want to pick the chart. And then when you make the chart, if you can notice here on the right-hand side, there are some tools that are built in right away that you can start changing this chart. If you want to work on the chart elements, so you want to change the chart title or something like that. The next one over is chart styles. So you can just click on it and immediately start getting some more information. So it helps you build the chart right away. You can even filter information. It kind of brings down some of the stuff that's really popular on the ribbon and puts it right in front of you so you don't have to go searching for anything. So that's some of the new tools that are built into Excel 2013. Okay. So that was just a quick tour of Excel 2013. I'll have the references for this information, including some more in-depth information about flash fill and some of the other features at the Excel blog. But if you go to aka.ms/pre-excel123, you'll find the references to that. We'll also get the video up later this week. We had a little problem last week with the video, but we'll plan to get both of those up this week. If you have any questions, I know Gary and Chris have been answering them. You can type them right now. We'll do Q&A for the next 20-25 minutes or so on Excel, the preview. Even if you have a question with earlier versions of Excel, we'll try to answer those for you or get you the answers. Any information about the Office webinar series in general, you can simply go to aka.ms/offweb. We'll update the schedule this week also for the next 4 or 5 weeks. And if you just want to join the Office preview, go to office.com/preview, and you can do that. But for now, thank you for joining this Office 15-minute webinar, and we will start the Q&A, and we'll see you here next week. In fact, next week is we'll preview 10 things you'll never have to do again with the Office preview. Kind of an interesting, we're just going to kind of look at some of the features overall instead of just looking at each program. So that will kind of sum up a lot of the features that you get in the new Office preview and also dealing with Office as a service. So that's next week. For now, we'll answer your questions about Excel, and thank you for joining this Office 15-minute webinar.